Yes, sir. What's up, y'all? We are Gifted Eyez
Podcast.
Podcast. This is your captain speaking. I'm P the Pilot, also known as Pilot P, and I'm here with my co-host,
JD.
I'm here with my other co-host,
R3.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Before we start, y'all should already know what y'all got to do. Number 1.
Hit that like button.
Number 2.
Hit that subscribe button.
Number 3.
Smack that notification bell.
And number 4.
Follow us on all social media platforms.
We are on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook,
Everything.
everything.
We out here.
Yes,
We out here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yo, I got 2 very, very, very,
Yes,
very,
yes.
very important guests of mine on this podcast. Cendy and Aleshia.
Hey.
What's up? What's up?
Hi.
How you doing?
Doing well.
Welcome.
So do you want to do a little elevator pitch about yourselves?
Sure. Okay. I'm Aleshia. I guess, am I 25? I think I'm 25. Yes. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I have an accent sometimes. Yeah.
All good.
I work in the nonprofit world, and I'm happy to be here.
Okay.
Welcome.
I'm Cendy, also 25. I work in the corporate world. And yeah, I'm excited to be here with you guys today.
We're excited too.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for joining us. So, before we jump into the topic, we're going to do a little rapid fire so people can know you a little bit more. You ready for it?
Yeah.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
You go first? Are you sure you're ready?
Yeah.
All right. I like the confidence. All right. Nicknames.
Didi.
What?
What?
I've never heard that nickname.
For my family. It's a family
I respect
thing.
it.
Family
I respect it. Zodiac sign.
What?
thing. Aries.
Okay. Favorite food.
Pasta.
What type of pasta?
Anything in white sauce.
Okay.
For me. Yeah.
She got a good taste. Favorite sport.
At the moment, soccer.
Hey.
You been watching the World Cup?
Yep.
Okay.
Brazil.
Yeah, they're out. But I love Brazil because I used to live there.
'Cause you're
But
Haitian.
that too. Superpower.
The power to be invisible.
I like that. Passions.
Right now is to better my health. I'm really passionate about eating healthy, staying fit. So
That's gonna be a very big topic in today's topic. Hobbies.
the gym
And
and doing hair.
okay.
Yes.
It's funny story. So my junior year, right? I think it was my junior
I know
year.
what you were saying.
My junior year, there was no one on campus to retwist my hair, and I would call Cendy at 2:00 in the morning, because I have a reason why I called you at 2:00 in the morning.
Damn,
Because
she was on overtime.
Because I would get out of work because I worked at the school pub, and the school pub would close at 2:00, and I had to do closing shift. You feel me? So I call up Cendy. I'd be like, "Yo, I need to get my hair done because I got to go to work tomorrow morning," and she'll literally stay up and do my hair.
Real one.
Yeah, that's a real one.
That's one thing I want to say. I want to say thank you. I want to give you the flowers because a lot of people wouldn't do that. You feel me? And
I wouldn't.
And she, we know you wouldn't.
I'll be asleep. And if
know
I'm
you
not
wouldn't.
asleep, I'm going to act like I'm asleep.
We know you
She is
wouldn't.
foul, bro. Oh
But
my goodness.
all jokes aside, you really came through a lot, and you did it multiple times. I'm very blessed.
Of course. Always for you. I watched them YouTube videos. And it was all set.
And if you had one power, if you had the power to change anything in the world, what would it be?
I would probably provide shelter to people who can't afford it or can't find it.
Fire.
That's a basic need
Fire.
in human existence.
That's really good. Very pure heart.
Yup.
Hey there.
You ready?
You got this.
You got this, yeah?
Ready? Nicknames.
Either Ali or Alicia.
Okay. Zodiac sign.
Cancer.
Cancer gang. Favorite foods.
I'd say I'm gonna choose the meats. I would say either curry goat or oxtail.
Some curry goat. Favorite sport.
Basketball.
Okay. Superpower.
Look at me. Or I would say telepathy.
Hey. I like that.
Okay. You want to read people's minds?
You don't think I can? Just kidding. You see how that sounded smooth.
Passions.
Sharing positivity and optimism with people, and I don't know, just being the sun in people's life is just, it gives me life.
Another good heart. Hobbies.
Writing poetry way back when, still in there. Spider Solitaire, rewatching my favorite shows, and sometimes reading.
That's good.
Cool.
And if you had any power to change anything in the world, what would it be?
I would definitely say world hunger is a big one.
That's a good one. See, two very great hearts in the world. Very important. Yeah. So, are you ready to talk about our topic?
Totally.
All right. So today's topic is all about attraction and beauty standards, and a little background on why we want to talk about this. On social media, you be hearing the questions, and a lot of the questions are the same. But we want to have like a more in-depth and actual intellectual conversation on those topics. But I want y'all to write something down. All right. So I'm gonna say 4 words, and all you have to do is just rank them.
Okay.
All right. So the first word: looks, money, status, height. And when you rank them, I want you to rank them for a potential long-term partner and a potential short-term partner. And you know what I mean. When summer comes around, everybody want to be a hot girl. You feel me?
Okay.
So, long-term partner and short-term partner.
Okay.
And for the fellas, what do you think women look for in a potential long-term partner? And what do women look for in a potential short-term partner?
And rank them.
All right. So let's start with long-term, because long-term means potentially getting married, the kids, So let's start with the long-term. Aleshia.
Okay. So you just want me to list it out, but I did. Okay. So for
And if you
long-term-
want, my fault. If you want to explain each
I
one,
will.
you could. But if you don't want to explain, so be it.
Okay. So for long term, my first thing was looks.
Mm-hmm.
Second was height.
Mm-hmm.
Third was money, and fourth was status.
Interesting.
So my commentary on each. For me, looks has more layers to it. It's like, okay, attractiveness physically, but personality wise, what do you value? Like, there's more to unpack there. So that's why that's number 1 for me. Height, I don't know. I just feel like I need somebody taller than me. I'm kind of like long and lanky. I'm 5'6", so I just like it'd be nice to be on my tiptoes and hug somebody. Third, money, because it matters like long term to provide financially, but it's not like a defining factor for me. And fourth, status. I put that last because I don't necessarily. It doesn't mean much to me what your title is. It's more of who you are. Yeah, because people can get caught up in the titles. You can't be defined by that. So that's my commentary, but yeah.
So what if a person is celebrity status? Does that move that up a little bit higher?
No, I'm a very shy behind the scenes person, so if I can run from the limelight, I will.
Interesting. Cindy?
All right. So for long term, I put status as number 1, but I thought of it as like, in terms of what do you do for work? Like, what's your job title? Are you, like progressing in your career?
So you're saying you want no scrubs? That's what you're saying.
Yeah, basically. So number 1 is status. Second, height. Third, looks. Because I feel like long term looks fade. Like I just feel like the way you look right now, okay, that's great, but like eventually we're both gonna be old and wrinkly. So I have to like you for you. And then lastly, money, because I feel like money comes and goes. Like you can make money as long as you're, working hard and stuff like that. So.
Wow. Y'all surprised me. Fellas, what do women look for in a long-term partner?
So I said looks, first, the attractiveness, if she likes, the look, I would have to say my second was money, gotta have the bread. And then I said third would be height. And then status, I did last because like I was watching Steve Harvey, and like a lot of the women, like they didn't really know like what their husbands like were, like job reference, but like they just knew they were bringing home the bread, you know.
And that's all that matters.
Yeah, and that's all that really mattered. So I put that last.
JD?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. For long-term relationship, this one, like, I was like juggling with these. I was like, because everybody's really different. Like, it's just hard, especially like I'm a male, so it's different. But like, for what I think the first one in a long-term partnership, I think it's money. Like, and when I think of money, I don't necessarily think like 100K a year. I think like stability. Like, are you financially stable? Are you able to just take care of the things you need to take care of? If it's just you and what you got going on, or if it's your family, or just who you're supporting. I think, women look into that first in terms of a long-term partner. If you're going to be with them, they want you to be stable. Mm-hmm. Second, I think status. I think how you and status for me is like how you move around. Like, are you shy, or are you confident in the room you're in? Like, are you just more to yourself? Or like whenever you can go into a room, you can speak up, you could talk to people, you can introduce yourself, you can connect people. Mm-hmm. I definitely think that's like, I think girls value that. And then looks, of course, but like, just like Sydney said, like in a long-term partner, that fades. So like it kind of matters, but I feel like that's like definitely at the bottom of the list. And then height. I think once you really get to know somebody, I think over time, like the height don't matter as much. But yeah, I just think that's at the end. How about you, P? What you think? P?
All right, so this list I'm going to list out is also what I also think for short term as well. But let me dive in this. So number one, I'll say looks. Then I said height. Then I said status. Then I say money. I think in this generation, looks, obviously that's the initial attraction, like when you see someone. And I think personally, like with any type of like relationship, especially if it's going to be short term or long term, you have to have that initial attraction. Obviously there's some people who say, oh, I didn't really like the person at first, but usually you like what you see. And then height. Women love height. Status. We live in a society where it's all about flexing and showing that you are better than everyone else, and like going on like expensive vacations or eating expensive foods and stuff like that. So this is kind of like more general. But last, I'll say money. Even though there's like a push for money, I think it's more about what you do with the money. Because you could be someone who you could be a millionaire, right? But if you're not a person who likes to travel or do a bunch of like expensive things, the money really doesn't matter. But if you're a person who likes to do a bunch of different things, that will attract the other to you, because that's the lifestyle that a lot of women glorify nowadays, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I understand where you're coming from.
So that's why that will stay for short and long term, because everyone's trying to have a good time either way. So now, short term, it's going to be a nice summer day, y'all,
The picture.
all your friends are, out and about, you're at home, you just, you're feeling some type of way. You feel me? So let's talk about short term.
Okay, I'll go first. So I put looks as number one, for obvious reasons. Second, height. Third, money, and then fourth, status.
So you said looks, height,
money, then status.
Money, status. Okay.
All right. For short term, I kept looks as first. I put money second. I shifted it up because, if it's short term, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Mm-hmm. Third is height, and then fourth is status. Sorry.
R3?
I said looks first. I said height second. I said money third. status is fourth.
Mm.
And then I said looks, height, status, money.
Status, money. Man, yeah, short term we're basically like the same.
Yeah.
The only difference is you put status third and money after that. But for the majority of us, it's looks, money, height, status. Oh, looks, height, money, status. Well, that's interesting. But yeah, that was like a little quick game just to start it off. But let's do this. Let's define what beauty means to you.
I will go first. I'd say beauty to me is the way that I see myself. And it's kind of, I build beauty into more of who you are as opposed to just like what people see. Because you could see me and I could be like the worst person in the world and I have like the shittiest personality. But
I can see that.
Thanks. But beauty for me, it's inner and outer because beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So you should always see yourself at 100% at your best. Like you're the baddest when you walk in the room. Number one. Number two, the personality, the worth, and I don't know, your values that you're bringing to the table. So that's how I think about it. But yeah, that's me.
Cindy?
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely an inside and outside type thing. So, like, you can be beautiful on the outside, but how are you as a person when you dig deeper? So it's, like, about your morals and, like, your values and things like that.
And something that I just heard from both of y'all is, like, it's the inside and the outside. I think a lot of times people just think it's only the outside. And just to go back to the questions, how important is your identity? Because your identity is both inside and outside. And with your identity, does that help you express your beauty if you understand it more? Let's say you understand your identity better than you did before. And does that help express the beauty inside of you or outside of you, or a combo of both?
I would say yes. It's a combo of both. From my like self-esteem, self-love journey, if we go from like high school Aleshia to now like real adult Aleshia, it's a crazy change. I feel like everybody has to go through a period of time where you build yourself up. You have to have those affirmations for yourself and learning to love who you are and how you love others. So me growing into that allowed me to also share that same love and like growth of self-esteem into others. So that's why I pride myself on like being that sunshine and kind of just spreading positivity in any way you can, because you never know how that can like build into someone's day. So that's the inner and outer beauty that I try to share with other people, if that makes sense.
That's important.
That's real important. Cindy?
Just to add on to that, I just feel like the journey of finding yourself is beautiful in itself. So, like, I don't know, like every step of the way, just identifying those little things that are important to you and sacred to you, it adds to your beauty. Because I feel like body language, you can see a lot, like, about the person in general. So beauty is also in your body language and your confidence and the way you walk, the way you talk, all of the above.
Interesting. So was this something that you learned later in life, or is this something that was instilled in you at a young age, like maybe from parents or maybe from a teacher or some type of adult? Or is this something that, you just had to figure out on your own? And with self-improvement, obviously it takes a lot of work, but some people have a different journey.
For me, I feel like it was instilled in me because Caribbean parents are just like, you don't let nobody tell you what you look like, who you are, da-da-da-da-da. But obviously, like, when you kind of change the environment you're in from going to, like, different schools and how you grow, like, in your teenage to adulthood years, it kind of changes how you see yourself based on what's going on in the world. Like, just the environment you're in can affect you. So I feel like for me, it started where you know who you are, but then you kind of have to find who you're growing into, if that makes sense. So it kind of happened for me in phases of understanding who I am, being comfortable with that, and then also growing into who I want to be and how I see myself. So it's a nonstop process. It's still happening today. So
I like that. It's a nonstop process. I like that a lot.
For me, I think it was a combination of both. Like, yes, I heard it from my parents and my older sisters. But it's like you don't actually believe it until you have to believe it yourself. And like people can tell you whatever you want, like, oh, you're beautiful. But if you don't believe it yourself, then it's never gonna manifest. So I think it was a combination of the guidance from my family and then me, coming to college and learning myself and who I am, that I was actually able to like bloom into the person that I wanted to be.
Okay. I have a question for you. How did you come to believe it for yourself?
I think it goes back to like what Aleshia was saying with like the affirmations. Like what you put out into the universe is really important. The thoughts you have in your mind are very important. So it's like you're telling your body how to feel and you're telling your body what to do. So if you're positive, if you say positive things to yourself, then, eventually it'll manifest.
Facts.
Yeah.
What about all those DMs, huh? I know those help. I know those help.
Please.
Now let's speak on that. So when you I'm dead serious. So when you get those DMs, how do you feel? I feel like, I don't know, as a guy, and let's say when a girl gets a DM, especially if the girl's attractive, it's like just another message because they're used to getting a lot of DMs. So
it's a notification.
It's just a notification.
Yeah. It's not one, now two, now four.
Is that true? Like, is it like it has to be a special someone, and then
it has to be that one.
It got to be the one.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like it has to be somebody that you also are interested in. For it to be like a ooh.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it is kind of just like a thank you.
She said thank you.
Everybody's like,
at least you said thank you.
Right. Some girls don't even open the message. So.
Yeah.
I'm just leave on scene. That's the worst. that yo. Oh my god.
I would go ahead and agree with Cindy. It matters who the person is that's sending it, because it's kind of like, not validation, but it's like, oh, okay, we see each other, like you're picking up what I'm putting down, But from the person, you're not necessarily like trying to look. It's like, oh my gosh, thank you, but it's a difference in, what am I trying to say? In how you receive it. Because the intent might be different behind it. Like somebody can really just say, hard eyes, but then I don't know, is there a pickup line behind it? The intent behind it might make the difference in how you receive it.
So it shouldn't just be hard eyes. It should be hard eyes with some words, or
it depends on the context. Is it from somebody who's trying to talk to me, or is it just someone who's just like, oh my gosh, you're so beautiful? Like the intent, that's what I'm talking about.
No, we're not talking about the second. We're talking about shooting shots.
I think the hard eyes can be a conversation starter. That's like a good segue, because depending on what type of hard eyes or whatever you send, I can tell for me, if someone's going to follow up with like, oh, so like, how are you? Da-da-da-da. And it can be a conversation. But if it comes immediately with a pickup line, if it's good enough, I might respond. If it's not, thank you.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Cindy?
I just feel like heart eyes are a little bit lazy. If you're really interested in someone, then you should follow up with like a hi, how are you? Some manners or something like that. But yeah, Peterson, what are your thoughts on DMs?
What are my thoughts? Honestly, I'm not a person that likes like shooting my shots in DMs. I'm more of like in person, because like I can show my personality, and then the way that I move. Not a lot of people move like me. You feel me?
Tell them.
So like I could do my thing more in person than in DMs, because I'm a person, I don't really like texting. I like FaceTiming because that's the closest thing to like talking to someone face to face. But I prefer face to face, in person. I can meet you at a club, I can meet you at a bookstore, and I'm confident enough to approach a woman no matter the situation. You feel me? So that's why I like in person like conversations more, because you can see my personality, you can see like how I move and stuff like that. But yeah. So when it comes to DMs, I'm still learning the DM game, but I've been successful. I'm not gonna say I haven't been successful.
Are you gonna reveal your recipe for success?
I'm here.
Recipe for success. I might have to make an episode on that, you know? But, you know, I do the hard eyes and see how that goes. Sometimes I try to switch it up with a different emoji. And then I'll say something after. But sometimes it doesn't work. But, you know, you still got to be creative at the end of the day.
I feel you.
So, yeah. So, I try to switch it up, you know? Yeah.
It's kind of funny. So, because my perspective. So, I've been with my girl for like 3 years. And she, thank you, appreciate it. But, so she, like a lot of dudes, you know, they be sliding in her DMs and she'll show me.
That comes with the territory, right?
Yeah. She showed me, and bro, they be mad funny. Like, bro, some dudes be coming at me. They be like, "You still with your lame ass boyfriend?" I be like, "Yo, like, I'm out of my business," cause like, but it be funny. And like, I remember one, I be using it now with her. She be getting mad. It was if I could change the order of the alphabet, I put you and I together. I was like, "Oh shoot, I'm gonna use that."
That's a throwback.
I'm gonna use that.
That's a throwback one.
Yeah. I was like, yo, I started using it with her, and she'd be like, shut up. I'd be like, I had to use it. That one's fire.
That's just funny. For me, I love jokes. Like, so if it's like if I'm shooting my shot in the DM, or if I'm swiping up, it has to be something funny.
You gonna say knock knock?
That's better than
knock.
that's better than a hey to me. No bullshit. I feel like that's better than a
Yo.
hey. So like yeah, like if I see a story and if I think of something that's kind of funny, or even if it's just funny for me and it's corny, like I'm fine with shooting that.
Yeah.
Cause like I just rather do that than just saying like hey or how you doing. Like I love jokes because that's like closer to my personality. So like that's usually my route.
And those are the ones we remember too.
Yeah,
jokes?
Just,
Yeah.
yeah, because I could. Yeah, there's some good ones
Word.
out there.
I agree. I like a good corny joke. I'm not gonna lie.
Girls like the corny jokes too. Y'all like the corny ones?
I like the corny jokes.
There's a segment of women who do. I'm one of them.
Yeah.
Because I'll do a little.
But that's not the majority, for the say.
But it'd be funny though, cause
Yeah.
it'd be funny though, cause they be like, "That's so corny," but they be smiling. They like it. They be like, "That's corny," and then you like it.
Yeah, that's what you gotta say. You gotta say something smooth like
Yeah.
that. I know you still laugh though.
Yeah.
Right.
And you got that. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna lie, sometimes a direct approach works. Be like, yo, my go-to phrase, and I'm gonna throw it out there. What's the word with you? And then if they understand the question, I love that phrase. But I say it in person because it works.
No,
you
you
feel
do,
me?
you do.
I'd be like, "What's the word with you?" They play dumb. They be like, "What do you mean?" Then you just jump right into it. But if they pick up what you're putting down from the jump, they be like, "Nah, I'm just chilling. What's up with you?" There's nothing else you need to say. You feel me? The conversation is starting. So like, that's why sometimes the direct approach is the best approach. Depending on who you're talking to, you gotta understand like their personality in a way, and if it's through social media, you gotta see like their profile and stuff like that, because your social media is basically like your visual resume in a way.
Right.
You feel me? So yeah, there's so many different ways, but just explore all options.
Yeah. I have one quick question. How do y'all feel about dating apps? Because it's a little different. Especially from like Instagram, because Instagram you could like see somebody posting their stories, you could see who they're friends with, you might have mutuals, you might not. Like there's just a way more information on Instagram. But like if it's on a dating app, like it's very like secluded, like it's by itself. You don't know who their friends are. You don't know, like you know what I mean. So like how y'all feel about people shooting their shot on that? Like I know people match, but it's just different. You know what I mean?
Personally, I don't really do dating apps. Similar to how Peterson said, that connection of how you like mesh with people in person is big for me because I feel like my personality is just very like bubbly and I don't know. I'm a chatter kind of. So I feel like I like to feel that out with people in person or like FaceTime like that. If we're gonna go down, my log, my memory lane, I feel like a lot of mine have been Instagram interactions because I feel like that's
you got it like that. That's what you're trying to say.
I didn't say that.
You got it like that. She said my log.
She said a log.
That's crazy.
Not like that. But like if I'm thinking in the past, it started. It went down in the DMs, I guess you could say. Just because you do have that visual resume where I feel like dating apps, people's intents. Well, it's the same problem with social media overall. People's intents, you can't really see that from social media or like dating apps. But I don't know, the caliber on dating apps that I've heard about, it's just a little bit too high of people lying and being deceitful and stuff.
Yeah.
You can lie on Instagram too, but I feel like it's a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Especially when you have mutual friends.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, that
there's
makes sense. That makes
somewhat of a
sense.
checking system, I guess you
Exactly.
could call it. But yeah, that's my 2 cents.
How about you, Sydney?
I don't really have much to say on dating apps either. I don't have experience there, but from what I've heard from friends, it's not as good of an experience. I feel like as the commercials put out and stuff like that, like it's not as good. The intent is not clear, or it's just like, oh, he just wanted one thing type situation. So, yeah, that's all I have to
That's
say.
fair. That's fair. Let's bring this conversation back to attraction and beauty standards. So I'm gonna just read off one of the questions Peterson has. Do you think it's more attractive for individuals to tend? Wait, what did it say?
See,
I don't know.
you make it sound like I don't know how to write. You can't make me look crazy like that.
Oh, my fault. Do you think it's true that more attractive individuals tend to have more opportunities that can lead to an easier life? Yeah, I was wilding.
Yeah, so it wasn't my writing.
wasn't you.
It was your reading.
You forgot a capital letter.
For the record.
Grammar.
I have a follow-up question.
Yep.
Yeah.
How are we going to elaborate on opportunities? Are we talking career-wise or basically in shooting your shot? Or in
I
life in
could
general?
I could like give you a little background. So I'm a person that likes watching other people's podcasts and learning from other people. And a lot of times, like attractive women, they say like life, because they have conversations with their friends, and maybe like their friends are just a little bit just less attractive in like a general sense. And they say that a lot of the problems that their friends have, they don't have because they're more attractive. So that could lead to like guys approaching them. That could lead to getting certain jobs, because there's statistics out there saying that there are like taller and attractive men tend to get jobs more often than shorter men. And for women, is women who are more attractive, there's a certain theory behind
Like
it.
pretty privileged.
Yeah.
Pretty privilege, exactly. There's a certain level of pretty privilege that they get because they are attractive. So going back to the question, do you think it's true if let's say if it's not for yourself, but for people that you know who are less attractive, do you see them struggle with certain things that people who are more attractive don't really have to worry about?
Do you want to go first? I need to let that marinate.
I would say yes. I think pretty privilege is definitely real.
Mhm.
Like it happens. I think it happens in the workplace. I do think that some people advance in their career a little bit faster, maybe because of how they look, their aesthetic, even just like down to your day-to-day things. Like, I don't know, like a gentleman opening the door for you on your way out. Did he open it because like you look attractive, or was he just being a gentleman type situation? So I do think it's alive and well in our society.
I agree.
I will say I'll agree with Cindy and say that pretty privilege is definitely a thing. I feel like I've seen it in action. I'll speak to it more so, when you go out with your friends, you kind of see the way people can move around in the nightlife setting based on that. That's one prevalent example. I think it does play a role in the workplace too. It does definitely segment by industry as well, and kind of where you are and what you do. The environment can change based on that. I feel like I've seen that throughout a couple of my jobs. But yeah, it is real. I feel like it takes more time sometimes to unpack it, to be like, wait, did that just really happen? So you don't really notice until you really sit and think about it. But it's a real thing.
Fellas, pretty privilege.
Yeah, I would have to say it's a real thing. Like you could just thank you, appreciate you. Yeah, like in the workplace, anything really. Sometimes you could see it like say there's like a car accident. you know, or say
This sounds foul.
yeah. Why he cheese like that?
Hold on.
Why he cheese like
No,
that?
keep going.
Why he cheese? He said,
Talk about the car
You didn't
accident.
even ask if they're safe or anything.
yeah, right.
Talk about the car accident.
But like, all right, so say there's like a car accident, and like, you know, the person who hit you, you're pissed. You're like, who just hit me?
Okay.
You get out the car, and so it's a good looking girl.
You're gonna have more patience, right?
Yeah, you're gonna have more patience. You're not gonna be like, what the hell? You just hit my blah blah blah. What's the insurance? Blah blah. You just hit. No, you're gonna be like, and she like, oh my god. All she has to say is, oh my god, I'm so sorry.
You don't even have to say anything.
Nah, it's okay. It's okay. You know.
You don't have a mic. We should be like, it's all good, man. It's all good. Don't worry about it. It's like that's chump change. You're different, huh?
No, that's
You experienced it, huh? You gave him the car. and shit.
You be sipping, huh?
Nah, that's him. That's him. that ain't me.
Shaking my
I'd
head.
be like, what the hell? That actually happened to me. I was pissed. The lady, she was like, remember I told you she was like, can we not like get our insurance? I was like, no.
She didn't have no pretty privilege.
What is your insurance? I was like, no. She was like, I don't want this to go on my insurance. And I was like, well, it's going on there. It's going on your insurance.
So
But, yeah.
It sounds like she didn't have pretty privilege.
No, she was. Yeah.
She was alright. Yeah. She was alright.
Yo,
Alright. Let's dive in a little bit more. You know, with today's society, cosmetic surgery is a big thing. And we see all types of celebrities get it. We see regular people, like people like us, like we see a lot of people in our status get cosmetic surgery.
Some people are addicted to it.
Some people are addicted to it. So, what are, let's say, one or two cosmetic surgeries that is very prevalent in our society that you know of?
The BBL.
That is a big one.
I think everyone knows. I feel like it's always been known from before.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'd say like the early 2010 era. Like people knew, but now it's just like, I don't know if it's recently accessible so much, but like you could just be walking down the street. Mind you, we're in Boston here. And you're just like, oh wow, yeah. I feel like before it was kind of like on the low, you know, Miami, you know, the Instagram girlies. But now it's just like, everybody's just like, I'm gonna go get my BBL, and there's so much range to it. But
For the audience, what does BBL stand for?
Brazilian butt lift.
Can you say it a little louder?
It's a Brazilian butt lift. Thank you.
Okay.
Cindy.
Cosmetic. I would say recently, maybe not recently, but like the lip injections.
Oh
I
yeah,
know.
that's a big one too.
Yeah, that's like really popular. What else?
Isn't Botox one?
Isn't that?
The fillers, yeah.
Yeah, like face fillers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, are you the tetas is what you're pointing to?
Oh
Okay.
yeah, that's a classic. That's a
Yeah.
classic.
And there's like the mommy makeovers as well.
Yeah, the lipo, like a tummy tuck. Yeah.
All that. And it's crazy because like now we're starting to hear about like men cosmetic surgeries. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
The hairline.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, that
Yeah,
one
that
too.
one.
But this
It is.
You feel me?
That's what they said.
There's like the other, like you
Yeah.
feel me?
Wait, what are you talking about?
He's talking about the extension.
You feel
The
me?
extension.
Like
That's what I'm gonna say.
that's a thing right now.
All right, that's a thing. Yeah,
That's
it
a
is.
thing. That's actually a thing.
What's it? There's a famous person who got that.
I don't know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
why do you know?
He's
I
like
don't know
a.
about I don't know about all that.
Why does Wishy know?
I don't know about all that. Nah, but the reason why I brought it up is
How do you know that?
Bro,
I could have said
I don't know that. I don't know it. I just said it, I'm pretty sure there's a famous person. All right. Anyways, let's get back on topic. All right.
Nah, because the reason why I brought it up is because it's so prevalent now. Like even in the office, and like I hear people talk about, yeah, I'm about to get a BBL. I set my date this day. Da da da.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
like,
very common.
like, and me, you know, I'm in the corner minding my business, you know, doing my work as you should. And I'm like, damn, like it's really like, And me, I'm really big into like natural beauty. Like when people work out, I admire people who like actually put in the hard work for their beauty, you know, and keeping themselves healthy. So like when I hear like conversations like that, it's like, damn, like, and I have 2 younger sisters and I have an older sister, and those are things that I don't want them to hear. But like I can't control everything they see, especially if they're on TikTok or Instagram and stuff like that. But I could tell them that's not the right way. But at the end of the day, society is more prevalent in their life, because when they go to school, they're in school for 8 hours, and then they got after school and stuff like that. So what is your thoughts about cosmetic surgery, and does it influence you in a way, or have you ever thought about like how it influences your perspective on beauty?
I would say my thoughts on it go back to why you're doing it. Like, I don't knock anybody who does get their body done, or like what any type of cosmetic surgery you can, because it's like, it's your body, it's your choice, and how you want to see yourself. But for me personally, the intent is really important, because it's like, if you want the BBL, kind of let's unpack why. Are you getting it to kind of, you know, boost your own self-confidence? It should be about you, because you're going under the knife, and that's already like a very risky surgery and process overall. Anything under the knife is serious. But then on the other spectrum, it's like, are you getting it just to like align with what society's showing you, because that's what the standard is being created to be? So that's how I see it. I don't knock it, but it's not my business. But personally, no, I wouldn't do it. I feel like your own self-love and self-growth journey is important in how you choose to move forward in potential cosmetic surgeries, but everybody's reasoning is different.
I agree. I feel like it stems back to like, why are you doing this? Is there another route you could go down? Like, maybe could you? I understand people are like, oh, I tried the gym and didn't work for me, so like, then they feel like they should get the BBL. So it's all back to like, is it because, like, is this something deeper inside of you that you're trying to cover up, or like, can you work through it? But you know, like she said, it's not my business. It's your pocket. It's your money. Do what you got to do. If it's gonna make you happy at the end of the day, then do it. But it is difficult, because you see it all around you in society. So then you do look at yourself like, maybe not should I get it, but it's just like, it's starting to look appealing to the eye, because you see it everywhere now. So,
well, it's funny too, because now you see like a lot of women, they're having like their husbands pay for it and stuff like that. And it's funny because one of the guys I work with, he's an older dude, and he said the best investment he's ever had was getting his wife breast implants. And I was like, that's a damn lie. And none of that, I'm pretty sure it's his ex-wife. So,
Jeez.
Yeah, he fumbled the bag.
So some other guy is having fun with his.
Yeah, with his investment. So,
sheesh.
So yeah, I don't know. My thing about it is, as long, I guess I'm okay with it if it looks natural. You know what I mean? Like, if it's like, if you can't even fit one cheek in the car, like, come on now, like, you know what I mean? Like, but if it looks natural, then yeah, I'm okay with it. But
and they're becoming more natural now.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I feel like the girlies are calming down when it comes to the exaggerations. So.
But the people that are addicted, they're forcing it.
Yeah, we're not talking about
yeah, they're forcing it. Like,
I think for me, like, just the thought of it being fake, that throws me off. Like let's say I see someone and I can't tell that they have it, and then I find, like, later on I find out, my attraction to her drops significantly, because I'm, like I said earlier, like, I really am attracted to, like, I think this also comes with the mindset as well. It's like, all right, so now I know, like, if you want something, you're gonna find like the easy way out instead of like working for it. That's kind of like the deeper thought. But in terms of like face value, usually you could tell if it's fake. But if you can't tell, hey, you did a good job, and hey, whatever comes out of it, comes out of it. You feel me?
tell her not to tell you.
Yeah, like, if you tell me, like, that's up to you, because actually I do want to know like when I first see you, but whatever. But yeah, so like I don't know. I think a lot of it's mindset. Like I really don't enjoy like fake stuff. It could be whatever. And I'm really like passionate with like, you know, eating healthy and stuff like that, and actually understanding yourself, going through the self-love journey, because everyone could, you know, go under a knife, but I don't think that's the right way, me personally.
Do you guys find BBLs attractive?
This is an interesting question. I remember I had a conversation with P, and P like really like broke it down for me, because at first I think I was like one of those guys that was just brainwashed by the media and got like, it became normal, like, oh, she got a BBL. That's just, it is what it is. But like having multiple conversations is like, one, is fake. Two, it's not healthy. Like there's a lot of like health problems that can come with it. 3, like if you have kids with this person, like your children are gonna look up to their mother and be like, eventually they're gonna find out that's not their body, and then they can question it, like, why did she get that? Like, did she not love herself? Is it like, what is her reason? Like, what was the intent? Like you said, exactly. So like, there's a lot of, as much as it could, if it's like a genuine reason, like they really just don't feel comfortable in how they look and they get it, yeah, I get that. But if it's not like a pure reason and they just want to follow like the crowd, like I feel like there's a lot of like downsides to it, and it's not just for them. It could be, you know, the younger generation growing up around them. So it might look good, but like I don't think it's worth it. For a partner that's gonna be with me, I definitely can't have it happen.
Yeah, I would have to say my thing is my attraction is about natural. You know what I mean? It has to be natural. So if you have a big booty, you was born with that big booty. You know what I mean?
God given.
You know, it was God given. So
You worked for it.
Or you work for it, yeah. But the thing is,
that's still natural, because you know you're working out. You're not injecting anything in your body. You're not taking anything out. You're not rearranging things. You know.
Yeah. Not only that, like you could see the difference, like the natural from the fake.
Yeah.
And sometimes it doesn't look good. It's not. And then I would have to say I'm more of a natural person. Like I like when it's natural.
I have a question for all of y'all, actually. Is plastic surgery a form of self-hate if it's for non-medical reasons?
That's a good question.
That is a good question. I would say no. I don't think it's a form of self-hate, because this is gonna sound not like from my TikTok research, but just from like watching different people's stories on why they get what they get and the variations of whatever they do get. Like for a lot of them, it's kind of, I don't want to say a way to reinvent yourself, but kind of a pick-me-up. Like I'd say some of the stories that I've seen are women who've had like multiple kids in their marriage, and it's kind of like, okay, you're at a point where you know you don't want any more kids, and like carrying children is a lot. So if that's the reason and the way that you want to obviously, you know, give yourself a pick-me-up, whether it's like an augmentation or like doing a tummy tuck or whatever the other one is to like make that like the, you know, I think that's your.
Like get snatched. That's the phrase nowadays. Everybody want to look snatched.
Yeah. Right. So if that's like, I feel like that makes sense, and kind of basically going back to the intent that I had said before, I feel like that is understandable, but I don't know. That's the best example that I can give as to like, I can't say it's a source of self-hate in why you get it, but for some people it's more of like, okay, it's going to be the way that I decide to treat myself to make myself feel better. In a sense of like, okay, I love and appreciate how I was before I had children, and then like this is how I want to look after. Because like, yeah, that's what I'm going to say. But that's my thought.
I think self-hate is a strong word to put on it, so I would say no as well. I think it's more just like helping you deal with maybe some of your insecurities that you may have, just to boost your confidence a little bit more. I wouldn't say it's self-hate.
I would have to say, I wouldn't say self-hate, but I would have to say it's definitely like a form of desperation, because of the fact a lot of people don't know that going under any surgery is a risk, like a very extreme risk. Like Kanye's mother, I'm pretty sure passed away from, she went under surgery for like a BBL or something like that, and she didn't wake up, you know? So there's risks to it. And I feel like if you, and you know, doctors are gonna, you know, tell you those risks. And if you're still okay with it, I would say it's more of like it's a desperation. Like they want their image to look a certain way, and they'll do what, you know, they'll die to get it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I would have to say, like, it's not self-hate, but it's kind of like a form. It's like self-desperation. I would have to say.
So would you say it's not fully self-hate, but it's like on the path?
Yes, it's like on the path.
That's interesting. Okay.
I'm kind of gonna go off on a tangent here. Something that came in my mind is like, especially in this day and age, right? Like, getting plastic surgery, getting, you know, your body work done as a female, like, it could be an investment. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of these Instagram models, like, they invest in their body because they know what that can come with. Like, they could become a famous rapper. They could become on like a reality TV show, just a big Instagram model that has a huge following. Like,
Can't forget about the OnlyFans.
Exactly. Like, it's not even like just about for their own, like, covering their own insecurities. It could be like a business venture. And that's not only sad, but it's a possibility nowadays. Like, they could really just do it because they want to get famous. And that's scary. Like that's really scary. Like, there's going to be people literally that just invest in their body, get a BBL, get implants, do what else to their lips. And that's happened before, just because it's going to give them that edge on the average female or a normal looking female. And
usually it's short-term happiness too. Because we had episodes on like short-term and long-term happiness, and like short-term is in the moment. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like maybe a year, maybe 2 years, max 5 years, but you live on to 60, and let's say you start at 20, and 20 to 25, you have so much life after that. Mm-hmm. And then a lot of times people regret it because the thing about BBLs and like other cosmetic surgery, you have to do the upkeep behind it. You can't. It's not a one-time thing.
It's a car.
It's like literally.
You need oil change.
You gotta bring it to
every 3,000 miles.
Shit. You feel me? So it's like you have to do the upkeep. So that costs a lot of money. That costs a lot of time because after you do the surgery, you gotta lay on your stomach for weeks.
What?
You can't walk.
Then after that, you kind of like have to keep it up in the gym.
Yeah, you can't just eat whatever you want.
Exactly, because it's gonna look sloppy. Yeah. And then what are you gonna do? Go back and do it again.
Yeah.
Go through the whole pain because you wasn't disciplined enough. And
that's crazy.
That's why, like, I agree with it. I agree with the question. So the original question is plastic surgery a form of self-hate for non-medical reasons? And I think about it in like something that's very similar to it is like skin bleaching. We come from a Caribbean background, African background, and skin bleaching is very prevalent in our society, mainly because people with darker skin, they don't value themselves as like how they should, because to the outside world, it's like lighter skin is more beautiful. Mm-hmm. And that's been what media has been pushing for generations, you know? So I think going under the knife is even worse than skin bleaching because there's a stronger possibility of you actually dying from it. So I have like a statistic here.
Interesting.
So in 2017, reports found 3% of surgeons had patients die from a BBL. So out of 100 people, 3 people are going to die. That's crazy. Like, nobody knows the statistics behind it, but people are dying from BBLs. And there's also other plastic surgery methods. People are dying from that too, but BBLs are the most prevalent ones right now. So after hearing that statistic, what are you thinking?
Me? Personally, I mean, it was never going to be on my radar personally, but it's just, I feel like a lot of people don't consider, like what we were talking about, the maintenance of the process of having one and how that affects you in the long run, a lot of people are looking for that instant satisfaction. So I feel like not necessarily everyone who does it may have all the facts and think about it big picture, like what it's doing to your body. Because I know some girl, oh my gosh, K. Michelle. Do you guys know her from Love and Hip Hop? She's also a singer.
Yep.
Yeah. She, I think either she had implants in her breast or she got a BBL, and she had to end up taking both of them out because like the silicone started going into her bloodstream. So just the various like impacts like that, and it'll affect everybody's body differently. There's just a lot of risks that I feel like people don't necessarily consider. So just hearing that fact just like triggers a lot of stories that like I've read about, and it just, for me being a numbers person, I'm weighing the risk and the reward, the pros and the cons, and they're not adding up for me. So
Hey, I thought I was going crazy. I thought I was the only one.
She did
No,
it
it's
like
scary.
years ago, right?
Yeah.
So it was like the risk still continues.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like as you live on.
that's actually a good point. Even
Yeah.
even when you take it out,
Yeah.
it's still in your body.
Right.
Wow, that's actually a good point. Wow, that's crazy.
And not only that, like your body itself is gonna reject that because
Right.
it's foreign.
Right.
Mhm.
right.
So that risk within itself is just like this.
And it could lead to a lot of like health problems
In the future.
later on, you know,
Yeah.
because you know people like I know like people who are older, they're like, damn, I wish I never played football because I injured my knees. Back then, they're like, oh, I'm good. 40 years later, they're like, yo, my knees are aching right now because they could pinpoint that injury really messed them up in the future. Now they barely can walk.
Right.
And something like that, injecting like silicone and stuff like that in your body, that could really mess you up in your 40s, 50s, 60s. You just never know, you know? So that's actually kind of crazy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's actually a show that it's like a surgeon that he fixes
Oh, botched. Yeah.
yeah, he
Yeah.
fixes like when like plastic surgery goes wrong. Like he fixes it. So
We didn't even talk about that. We talked about the deaths, but we didn't talk about like
Yeah.
the botched
I'm
BBLs.
honestly,
that-
I'm not familiar about the botch. This is my first time hearing about them. The botch.
I don't know the stats, but
Nah,
Yeah.
let's give me like a synopsis of
It's
what
pretty
what
much-
botch.
basically, like, say for example, I went in for a BBL, talked to the doctor, whatever, said I wanted it this size, this big, and then I come out with like completely what I didn't want. Then you're
You got
like,
two
you're-
balloons.
Yeah, yeah. Basically.
Okay.
And it's like it's another risk to go back under the knife. Like, what do you do after that?
Oh, it's like a fix up
yeah.
Yeah.
after the original.
Mhm.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah.
It's like flipping houses, but for your body.
Sheesh.
Think about it that way.
Sheesh.
yeah,
I think it's crazy and crazy, and like the more that we have this conversation, and like the deeper we get, the more I'm thinking about like my little sisters. Because like in the future, not in the near future, because I got time, but in the future, I want to have kids, and let's say when I have daughters, 'cause I want a lot of kids. So let's say when I have daughters, it's like, what do I tell them? Like I could tell them, yeah, love yourself. Like y'all said before, like your family, like because Caribbean background, like yeah, love yourself. Don't let anyone tell you anything. But when they go out like through society and like they see it all around them, and I'm thinking in the future it's gonna be even more prevalent. And they see everyone get them and stuff like that. So like, what is advice that you'll give to like a younger sister or your future daughter about BBLs and other types of plastic surgeries?
That's a great question.
Or like, what would you tell me so I could tell my little sister?
Okay. So depending on the age, it would vary my level of transparency, but I would start with the foundation of being able to take that self-love journey and knowing who you are, and loving who you are in the skin that you're in, but also be transparent about what's out there in its like full capacity, like how we were talking about the big picture of like when you get cosmetic surgery, all of that, like the risks that can come with it and the whole shebang. But I would definitely, if I'm thinking like if I had a daughter and I'm thinking about being, how would she look up to me? I would just want to be as much of a role model as I could be. So you can set the standard, but at the end of the day, when they grow up, they're going to make their decisions, but you know that you did the best you could in teaching them how you would want them to see themselves. That's how I thought about it. But
Yeah, I also, to add on to that, I would say like education is important. Like just how you pulled up some stats for us, do the same with your sisters. If you hear them talk about it, be like, you know, like just let them know like there's actual risk behind it and things that can go wrong. 'Cause yeah, like she said, they're gonna make up their minds at the end of the day. So just do your best, I guess.
I think I try to be the type of brother to be like, you know, have that conversation. Like, yeah, that's not the right way. But I also like to nip things in the butt early, no pun intended. So it's like if someone's saying, like if one of my family members are talking something like negative, you know, like for an example, I view BBLs as negative. So if they're like, oh, I want to get a BBL and they're just kidding, I'm like, yo, we don't talk like that. And yeah, that's not a thing. Yeah. But having that conversation is what I should be doing. Like, be like, be like, we don't talk about that because it can lead to this, this, and this. And then show them examples of like, you know, all the bad stuff. Because on social media and like on TV, celebrities, you see all the good stuff.
Right.
You're getting the attention and, you know, the people are talking about, oh, it's so beautiful, this and that. But next thing you know, like behind scenes, like they're going through like medical stuff that people don't really know about. So I think the two advice that I got is actually really good. But yeah, we're very close to time, but I have a question. Why do women overlook the good guy for the bad guy?
That is a great question.
But before you answer that question, I think I already know why.
Okay, let's hear your perspective and then I'll give you my answer.
It's like the list right here.
The list is right there.
The good guy don't fit. 3 out of the 4. He's gonna get overlooked.
I think when you have that, you know, the bad guy edge to you, you're viewed as more like exciting and more fun.
Okay.
You feel me? Even though you don't have all your chips in the right place. But at the same time, the good guy is the stable one. You feel me? Like, you know you're going to be good at the end of the day. Like, he's going to take care of you.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it is. I want to hear y'all perspective.
Do you want to go first? No, you can go.
I feel like you have something. No, I do. I had my rebuttal ready. So we'll go back to my history. Personally, if I think about it now, I'll agree with what you said about the bad guy being more desirable because it's like, oh my gosh, you have like this edge to you, like wowzers. I don't know. It's like a weird form of excitement and spontaneity. And I don't know. It depends on where you are in your life. If that's what you want, then that's what's going to fit for you. But in the long term, it kind of gets like, okay, so what are we really doing here? Like, where are we going with this, and what do I actually want? So it's kind of the short-term versus long-term idea. But if I'm thinking long-term, like where I am now, not like I'm about to get married tomorrow. But, you know, like, I am 25, so like I am thinking about my life in the future. You would want someone who obviously values you, treats you right, and also you can like, I don't know, you feel safe and at peace with them. And I feel like those are like the really important factors, and you guys are able to like lift each other up and actually like laugh together. I don't know. People's perception of what they want out of a relationship is very different now because similarly, it's just what society is kind of like spitting at you, but you have to know yourself enough to know what you want and what you're looking for. So I feel like people are kind of caught up in that persona of like, oh, you know, like, oh, it's exciting. Yeah, that's mine and I'm stick beside him. But in the long term, it's just like, okay, so what is that? What is that trait doing for you? Or is it really just satisfying like, I don't know, that excitement for you, but what more is there besides that? Like, they have to be bringing something else more to the table than just like, I don't know, that one trait, you know?
Okay.
But that is a common theme that, you know, is up for conversation, I will say. A lot of people do choose the I won't say the toxic guy, the bad guy, the bad boy versus the nice guy, because it's more like they want a sense of, I won't say aggression, but kind of someone who gives you that, you know, that little, ooh, you know what I'm saying? Because they assume the nice guy is always just going to be like nerdy in the corner. Yeah. But it's nice to have someone who is like, you know, softer, but they also do have that same oomph to them, you know?
You need a
Exactly,
you need a mix, okay?
Exactly.
So
there's balance.
So I know a guy who thinks every who thinks every woman is a queen.
Okay.
Does that what would you categorize that? As a good guy mindset or the bad guy mindset?
That's so vague.
No. That's not the quote. The quote is everyone's a queen till you get your ass demoted.
Oh.
That's the queen.
And
I
know another guy who's like I know another guy who's like, no, not everyone is a queen. Queens, you can identify a queen, but not everyone is a queen. You feel me?
Yeah, but my thing is,
oh, it's you, huh?
No. All I'm saying is, if you like a shorty, is she not a queen?
No, negative. Because here's the mindset. If
Then why are you pursuing her? Why is
she
it
look
a thing?
good?
Why is it a thing? Why are you there?
If everyone is a queen,
What are we doing?
If everyone is a queen, that means a queen is not.
Who am I?
If everyone is a queen, that means a queen is not special.
But I think you can change that to say, like, every woman is a queen, every man is a king, because you have to see yourself in that way.
Yes,
You
exactly.
should think the best of yourself.
Till they get their ass demoted.
View that person, okay. How you view that person, is that your queen? Like, is that your person?
Okay.
That's how I'm interpreting it, if I'm understanding your friend's commentary correctly. Yeah.
How I view a king and queen, you usually gotta earn it.
I agree.
You don't just no. You don't just become not everybody's just born a queen. There'll be no such thing as royalty. All right.
What do you mean?
There'll be no
Royalty. There's people that are born queens.
Everybody though? No. They're not born queens. They're born. They're born. Nah, they're born princesses.
Yes.
And then
become queens.
They get taught to become a queen.
Or sometimes there's a king and he brings a queen in. But he sees value in her. Mm-hmm. He don't see value in everyone in the city. They're not all queens. They're not all queens.
First of all, kings are different though, because every dude is a king because of the fact. What do you mean?
So are you?
Okay.
If you go and you conquer a land, if you're from a peasant, conquer something and become king of it.
Is everyone conquering?
Huh?
Is everyone conquering?
Everyone's not conquering.
All right. So that means that one person did that job.
Listen,
and
I stand by. Don't get your ass demoted. That's what I'm saying.
You gotta be promoted before you're demoted.
Hey.
Yes.
I like the mindset. Like, everyone's a queen, but
I respect it.
I'm sorry, I don't think everybody's a queen. But I like the positivity. Like, I see the vision. But like in the reality we're living, everybody can.
So she's basically calling you a simp.
No. What you mean?
I'm trying.
I mean, technically, I'm not saying everyone is a queen. You guys forget you get your ass demoted. You're not a queen anymore. If you get your ass demoted, you're not a queen anymore.
But everyone starts as a queen.
I will.
Yes.
Okay.
I have a question.
Okay.
What qualifies a woman as a queen?
Is this posed to everybody or just him? Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
It's based off of how I'm gonna treat you to get your ass demoted.
What?
All right.
What are her qualifications? Right. So as a king, I see a king as somebody that's a leader. He's confident. He's well-rounded. And he looks up for other people. Yeah. Not every male is like that.
Yeah, that's facts.
All right.
So they got their ass demoted.
He was never there.
They were never there.
He was never at the top.
Yeah, but how are you supposed to judge somebody until
how they move?
What's
on their resume?
He's saying if they never had those qualities at all, they let's say they never had one of those qualities, they can never be a king.
It's like Richie. It's like being a captain in a sports team.
Listen.
Not all of them are captains.
You have to have a positive view on someone before you can even get to know them.
No. You got to have a realistic view.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that. I agree with Peterson.
See?
That's what I'm saying. This is about being like.
Yes, but
these queens agree with this king.
Oh my God.
They got demoted. All right? They're demoted.
I'm actually going to go back to your point. Saying that you kind of have to figure out the value in people before you can say, like, yeah, I was being nice. Obviously, everybody's a queen and a king. But if we're being realistic about it, out of the optimistic perspective, I do understand you don't necessarily want to give someone that pedestal unless, like, you feel like they're bringing that energy and they have those traits that you're looking for, that they're bringing it to the table. So I do understand that you don't raise them up until you feel like, okay, like, you feel that connection, because not everybody has those values. It's a little rocky for some, but yeah.
No, that's true.
The demoted part, it's a little rough, but I understand where you're coming from.
I think your perspective, Richie, is good. I think the terms are wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you said everybody was like, I would just give it to you like princess and princess. Everybody just starts there. Then you gotta earn your way to being somebody's king or somebody's queen. Yeah. Bang, I would understand. Yeah. But no. No. Let it sit.
Hold on, let's pivot. Let's pivot a little bit. All right, so I know y'all. You feel me? Great in school. Y'all value family. Y'all have, the attributes, right? I have friends who say a lot of women are just stuck up. But I know a lot of women who say men are just intimidated by me. And y'all are successful in your fields. Like, y'all graduated and y'all are doing what you're doing. Do you hear, or is that a conversation that y'all have with your friends about guys being intimidated? Or is it something else? Because I want to give my perspective on it before you answer.
Okay.
Because I know y'all, we partied together. We went out together. I see guys approach y'all easily. You feel me? Like, they're not intimidated. And I feel like the reason for it is because y'all are feminine. You feel me? Y'all are feminine. Even though y'all are successful, y'all are still feminine at the end of the day. And that's something that I like to promote when it comes to women. Like, I know there's a whole thing about strong, independent. I don't need no. Yeah, that's slow. keep that energy away from me. Like, obviously, like, I would want that in a woman, but it's kind of more mentality and mindset. Mm-hmm. Like, you could be successful like y'all are, but still be feminine at the same time. Is that a conversation that's overlooked, or is that a conversation that you have constantly with friends or family or anyone in your social circles?
I think I've had that conversation with some family, and we've come across it in our friend conversations as well. How do I want to say this? So I feel like we are raised and taught to obviously not be reliant on others, and kind of be able to have your shit together for yourself before you can allow someone to bring some more to the table. I think today we're at a point where it's not a forced sense of being independent and relying on yourself, but because of how some people have been hurt in various aspects, there's a hyper intense version of self-independence. And I think that doesn't release, but kind of pushes back their femininity, because they have a wall of okay, you're not going to get past this point because been there, done that, and I'm not going to allow someone to get back into where I already grew from to heal myself.
That's a great
if that
point.
Makes sense.
Wow.
But I feel depending on where you are and what you're looking for, you're going to have to break down that wall to be vulnerable and allow the femininity to, be there and let a man be a man. But it has its tweaks to it. Twitter conversations, people talk about this a lot. It really varies on what your perspective is and, like I said, what you're looking for in a partner. So that is very much open to interpretation. But for me, I'm going to let myself be feminine and stuff, because, I can say. But, yeah, that's my input.
Okay, so my 2 cents on this is I really do feel like it depends on how the man makes the woman feel. Mm-hmm. Because I just feel like if you're a man in the relationship, you should be making your woman feel feminine. You need to make her feel beautiful, wanted, desired, because then otherwise she's going to have no choice but to be masculine. Mm. And I see that manifest in my family. I feel like my mom is both feminine and masculine because she kind of had to become a dad at certain points for
Makes
us.
sense, yeah.
So I feel like the more successful and hardworking you are, sometimes that kind of seeps in to like your relationship and how you are in your relationship. So as long as you have a man that can like, you know, when you come home from work and he can bring you back down to your feminine levels, then like you're good. Yeah.
That's a great point. So we're really about that time. And before we end it off, we like to do words of wisdom. Any words of wisdom in terms of beauty standards, attraction, just life advice for anyone who's watching?
Wow. Me, what would I say? I would say do what makes you happy, but also put yourself and your happiness first in everything that you do. Live life, laugh, love, eat, pray, love, the whole vibe. But also, do what makes you happy, but also be realistic. Put your happiness first and surround yourself with people who really know you, have similar values to you, and also you can confide in and kind of be, that will give you tough love, but also support you in a positive way that's healthy.
I guess my words of wisdom are to just stay true to yourself. Don't get caught up in society and what the standards of beauty are today. Look within yourself to find your own beauty. I don't know. I was looking at the camera.
It's okay. You're speaking to them. You feel me?
Find your beauty within, and then everybody else will be able to catch on to that and see that in every room you enter.
I like that.
R3?
All I have to say is, listen, if you're a king and you're a queen, all right? But make sure you act like how a king acts and how a queen acts.
That's right.
Or you get your ass demoted. That's all I got to say.
JD?
Let me see. I'd probably go off to like the beginning of the podcast where they both said like affirmations are very important for your self-love journey. So if you haven't ever started there, definitely start there. Be consistent with it because it's easy to fall off. You really got to instill those ideas, that mindset into you so that you actually become what you're thinking. And that's really like the foundation for you not to like get off track and really fall into these negative beauty standards we have nowadays. So just like Sydney and Aleshia said earlier, do those affirmations.
And for me, it's simple. Social media is fake and love yourself. It's literally that simple. But yeah, we're about that time.
Yes, sir. So, just remember, you're not behind in life. Just keep moving forward.
Keep your eyes on the prize.
We are Gifted Eyez Podcast. Peace.
Love and happiness.